So Aliso Viejo is a wonderful city. All come down here, buy a house, move down here, send your kids to local schools. We are, however, the city where the Minutemen were founded. That's a problem. But when I look around, and in particular, we have a candidate running for Aliso Viejo City Council in 2020, Richard Hurt. Richard, will you stand up? First of all, I want to see you all canvassing for him. Second of all, Daraka, what words of wisdom would you give Richard running in this predominantly white neighborhood?
What we talked about out at the reception ahead of time, or before, is traveling around this state and talking to people who have done the beautiful, wonderful, and really kind of fakakta thing of putting their name out to run for office. And thank you very much. Thank you to everyone in this room who's done that. But I've talked to people running all over this state who were never told, didn't know about, somehow missed all of the resources and tools that are entitled to them, that they're entitled to rather, as endorsed candidates of this party. What that really spoke to me is that we're not doing a very good job of taking advantage of the high-profile, really expensive, really exciting races for things like Congress or legislature, and building the kind of coordinated campaigns that we've done in Santa Barbara so well that spreads that love, that energy, and that attention all the way down the ticket. So my first piece of advice is to get in and throw elbows and demand the things as a Democratic candidate that you're entitled to from the party, work with the other leaders, work with the clubs to get your due. In terms of the racial politics of things, one of the things that I think our community, the black community in California in particular, has to increase our skill set on, and sort of go back to our original skill set as the original coalition builders in progressive politics in this country, is that the numbers aren't on our side. The demographics are not on the side of black people in this state. If the demographic trends continue the way that they are, and we're reliant on having majority black districts or plurality black districts to elect black people, we're not going to have any black elected officials in this state. We have to be coalition building. We have to be working with other groups of people that we have something in common with, that we have solidarity with, work with those people, be the coalition candidate. So be the coalition candidate and take advantage of the resources and the economies of scale that is the whole purpose of having a political party, right? So that you can come in, plug your campaign into the campaign that's going to be energized by beating the fascist in the White House, by holding on to these seats, these hard-won seats that we've won in Orange County. You want to plug into that, take advantage of that energy, and ride that wave.
Perfect, thank you.
Right. Yeah, so I want to go back to the advice for our young future city council member. I first want to thank you for running. Thank you for running as a Democrat. As someone who has trained hundreds of women to run for office, I know that running for office is probably one of the hardest things a person can do, so I thank you for that. Second, I want to say, be your authentic self. There are a lot of people, including consultants, who will try to make you into something you are not. They can't come close to the person who you are, and so I want to encourage you to stay true to who you are, stay fixed on your North Star, and be your authentic self. Third, I want to say, remember to lift as you climb. And what I mean by that is, don't forget to reach back and pull people up, not when you get into that seat, but every step along the way. It's important that we create a different culture in politics to really lift as we climb, to have a mentor and to also be a mentor to others. I think it's important that when you're running for office, you should listen more and talk less. This is about service. And this is about listening to your community, to what they need for you as their elected representative. I want to encourage you to remember that it is a privilege to serve, to lead by example with your actions rather than your words, and to remember that elections are never about the candidate. Oftentimes, our culture that we live in today and consultants try to make elections about a candidate. But I want to remind you that elections are never about candidate. Elections are always, always, always about the voters. And more specifically, they're about the mood of the electorate at any given moment in time. So I want to encourage you to dig deep, to roll up your sleeves, to really understand what's going on in your electorate so that you can be the best representative when you get to your seat as city council member.